Hi, welcome to Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in MAGiCK. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you are watching a video about the psychic messages of your body, the signs. Your body speaks in signs. Your body speaks a kind of sign language, and really, it's not your body that's talking, it's your soul that's talking through your body, which is why this communication is so very psychic and intuitive and accurate. Your body knows things because it's a direct link to your soul. Your body knows things that your conscious, everyday, very necessarily egocentric mind does not. So it's awesome to check in with your body, and even if you don't just take a moment to check in with your body will try to check in with you. The issue comes in when you live in a culture like we do that encourages you to ignore the sign language of your body and to carry on with whatever your mission is that day, your boss's agenda, the school's agenda, the government's agenda, your grocery shopping agenda, get it all done to-do list agenda, whatever it is, just keep going, keep going. And sometimes your body has other ideas. I do think that the body has its own messages. And then in addition to that the soul speaks through the body. So I will talk about the two as if they are the same thing, but I do believe there are two separate things. What is the right word there? There's two different kinds of communication that can be going on. Psychic communication, intuitive communication, which is really just messages from spirit coming through your body, or just your body, because your body has its own innate wisdom. So what I'm going to share with you right now are 6 steps for reading the sign language of your body, learning to interpret the signs, and being aware that they're even there to begin with. So let's just do that. Let's see how fast I can make a video today. Not usually very fast. Okay, so tip number 1. Okay, so when you notice an unpleasant or just a nagging, it doesn't even have to be unpleasant. You just notice a nagging feeling coming to the surface or trying to come to the surface of your awareness. What often happens is we just push it out of our mind because it's getting in the way of something that we're trying to do. We're trying to push our way through a workout. We're trying to get to work on time and we don't have time for that, or whatever it is. Often this is how the shadow grows and grows and grows. We just push it down or push it away, or we try to distract ourselves with our favorite, familiar activity or behavior that keeps us in the zone of lies, the zone of comfort, because it's familiar, because we know it. It may even be pleasant. And so in that way, we bypass the message. We miss it altogether. A lot of spiritual people do this in an attempt to remain positive all the time. So they might use a technique like EFT, which is tapping, emotional freedom technique. It has its place. It's very useful, but you might feel an uncomfortable sensation rising to the surface of your conscious and not want to feel it, and then try to tap it away, or try to positively affirm it away, or vision board it away, or whatever. So then again, you miss the message entirely because you're so hung up on this idea of law of attraction and I have to be positive all the time, that you're missing some very vital information that can actually serve your life's purpose, your soul's purpose. So the first step when you notice something trying to get your attention is just pay attention. Stop what you're doing. If you can, close your eyes and take a breath and just sit with it for a moment and feel into what is trying to come up for you. And then step number 2 is to locate where in your body it is showing up. And it doesn't always have to be a feeling. It could just be a thought or an idea, or you just feel like something is it's on the periphery of your awareness, but you're not really sure, the same thing applies. This also works, by the way, with a physical condition that you have. You can follow these same steps to ask the condition what it's trying to tell you. An injury that you have, or a disease or something like that, you can use the same process. But I'm just talking about daily intuitive messages here. So once you get quiet, step 1 is pay attention. Step 2 is to locate where the message or feeling is in your body. And then once you locate where it is, for me, it's usually in my solar plexus, the place right like under where your ribs meet, like in your upper stomach area. Or in my heart. If I'm feeling it in my solar plexus, it's usually like kind of like a hot, burning, fluttery feeling. And if I'm feeling it in my chest, it's usually like a pressure on my chest. And so you just put all your attention wherever it is. If it's in your big toe or your elbow, or like me, it's in your solar plexus or your heart. You just focus all of your energy and your attention into that one spot. And then step 3 is once you're in it, once you're in the place, you try to identify it. So you start asking yourself, is it hot or is it cold? Is it heavy or is it light? Is it fluttery? Is it moving it around or stationary? Does it feel very leaden or pulsating, vibrating? Like, what does it feel like? How does it feel? Does it have a color? Does it have a shape? So you start trying to identify it and kind of like draw out some of the symbolism of it. Does it have a color or a sound or a scent? Is it angry or is it sad? Is it frightened? So you really just try to get to know it in a more dimensional way, other than like, oh, there's a pressure on my chest. You start to like hone in on it, and it feels kind of gray and cold, and you start going like that, and it feels like anxiety. And then you just keep honing in on it like that. And then once you've got a real handle on what it is, what kind of energy you're working with, step 4 is to ask it what it wants. Just simply say, what do you want? What do you want me to know right now? What are you trying to tell me? And then step 5 is simply listen. Pay attention, stay in the receiving mode. It might be in a meditative state, or just take a pause and wait for the answer to appear, and it will appear. Have faith that it will appear, and trust whatever shows up for you. So it could be a sentence, it could be a full-blown story, like a childhood memory, or some, action that you need to take, and some plan that just starts to unfold in your mind. Or it could just be as vague as like an image of an animal or something. Just trust that whatever you're shown when you ask that question is the message. And if you have experience with science and symbolism and it's just showing you like a symbol, then later on you can do some deciphering with that. What does that mean to me? It's showing me an owl. What does owl mean to me? And then you just keep unpacking it like that. But often it will be a clear message, because you're really just asking yourself, you're asking your soul to communicate with you. And on some level, it's just opening yourself up to that awareness. And it's interesting, once you start doing this, you start getting very psychic about not just yourself, but other people around you. And a lot of psychics actually work this way. So it's a great way to develop your psychic ability and strengthen your intuition, and to really stay on, a lot of people are so concerned with what's my soul's purpose, what's my path. Well, this is a way to let the signs of your body guide you and keep you on track. Especially if you have to make a big decision or something like that, it's a good time to do this as well. And then the final step number 6, is to just acknowledge the message that you received. Thank your body for communicating with you, and promise that you are going to pay attention to the signs in the future and that you will heed the message. I mean, this is the most key part, is that heed the message. If there's an action you need to take action. If there's a direction you need to go in, if it's asking you to slow down, slow down. If it's telling you, I need water, drink some more water. This is something I teach people, or I used to when I was doing the Sad to Sexy program. I am currently in the process of repurposing it into a program called The Healing Magic of Food. But I will be keeping this in the program because it's really valuable, and it's doing a body scan on yourself after a meal or before a meal, and letting your body tell you what it wants. So this is something I've been teaching people for years, and there are many purposes for it. But because we're working with signs, symbols, and synchronicities, I thought this was a good time to bring it up again, because your body does not, sometimes it speaks in words, it really depends on the person, but typically the first little bing is going to be a sensation, some kind of feeling sensation, and that is a sign that you need to stop, look, and listen. So I hope this was helpful, and until we meet again, much love to you. Another sign. Peace.